On here to give you guys an update before everything starts going downhill big time. Um, we have got everything as prepped and ready as we can have it done. Um, we did get some, we got some bread. We got the vehicles filled up with gas. Um, we've got some peanut butter and that kind of stuff. But it's going to start getting pretty bad over the next few hours. They it's expected to hit like sometime. Are you ready? Yeah, I know. Um, but yeah, it's supposed to get. They said that we are going to get a direct hit. They say category 3, possible category 4. Um, I know the master of the wind. I know the maker of the rain. I know who has it all in control. I just have to keep reminding myself of that. Um, it is still scary. Right now, it's not so bad out here. We have got some feeder bands that have come on shore, but it hasn't been extreme yet. Um, my parents and 3 or 4 of my children, they live right on the coast. They live in the storm surge area, but they have evacuated to our church. This is my house. They have evacuated to our church. Um, it it should be fairly safe where they're at. I mean, you're talking category 3, category 4 hurricane. There's nothing that's going to be safe. But they have evacuated to the church. Um, so there's that. I think we're okay being in the house here. Our county does have a mandatory evacuation order in effect, but that's for anybody in a mobile or manufactured home. But they also said there's no shelters open like in Wakulla County. All of there's no shelters open because they said none of the shelters would be able to withstand the wind. So that's also a little scary whenever they can't open a shelter because of the winds. But again, it's one of those things where we just have to. I think it was Miss Rosie DeFeo that had just sent me a text, and I was telling her, it's like, the thing is, I've always said that God's got it all in control. And so now it's time for me to put my money where my mouth is. I have to remember that He really does have it all in control. This is kind of like the calm before the storm right now, guys. So um, if I can, hang on, Tammy, I can't see your comment. Oh, Tammy, it's we're getting ready. Ugh. You know, if I can post some videos or get on here and do some lives just to let you guys know that we're safe, I will. Um, but we don't know what the night's going to hold. I will not be going to sleep at all because you have to. The thing is, one of the worst things about landfalling hurricanes is tornadoes, and so when you're at night, you're not going to be able to see a tornado. So you have to be very aware of everything and listen to them. They do sound very much like a freight train. Um, so I will not be sleeping at all tonight. Um, we've got a shelter in place. They will be with us in the house. We're not going to a shelter. There's not really any shelters open in this area. I think there's like 1 or 2. but that's it, because they said the shelters aren't able to withstand the winds of this hurricane. So the safe room in our house would be our guest bathroom. It is on the most inside wall. It's like in the most central part of the house. So that will be our evacuation type thing. Yeah, tornadoes is the worst part. And actually, Tammy, you guys are going to be in, but because even though we're getting a direct hit, the tornadoes are normally on the east side. Y'all, I have to keep putting my glasses on because I can't see. Thank you, Miss Deanna. We definitely need the prayers. And the other thing is, it's not just those of us here, but pray for the linemen, the people that are going to be working, when the power goes off and trying to get it back up. I live in a second floor. Oh, God, Tammy. Well, I'll be praying for you, too. Back in 2008, we actually had a friend of ours that was a lineman get killed in Tropical Storm Faye. So that's why when the power goes out, I don't stress. I'm okay. As long as I'm without power, I'm good, because I'd rather be without power than for somebody to lose their life ever trying to get me power back on. So just whenever it's safe, then we can get power. We do not have a generator here, but I'm okay. We are on city water, so that means, hang on, I can, Defuniak is more west of us. It is pretty close to us, but they're going to be on the west side of the storm, so they should be fine. That's not even a tornado threat on the west side of the storm, so that's the good thing. But we are on city water here. We're not on well water, so we will, even if we lose power, we'll still have water, so that's a good thing. We do have electric stove, so I won't be able to cook, which that's not a problem, because guys, I love peanut butter. I can live off of a peanut butter sandwich. So I've got bread and I've got peanut butter. I'm good. And we've got bottles of water, so I'm good. My biggest thing, as long as everybody's safe. Maggie is completely housebroke. She uses the bathroom outside. She rings a little bell on the door. I'm praying for state and first. Yes, absolutely. I'm pretty sure I will be getting deployed. They won't deploy me until the end of the week, and then I'll know more about it. But anyway, she's completely housebroke, but I know that I'm not taking her out to the bathroom in 120 mile per hour winds, and they're saying we're going to be getting 120 to 150 mile per hour winds. I'm not taking her out. So I did go today and buy some puppy pads to put down in the bathroom. I don't know if she's going to use it. She may end up just holding it, because it's only going to be like maybe through the night, which she sleeps all night without going to the bathroom. So she's probably going to be okay. Miss Mary, I am an investigator with the Florida Department of Health. And so as an employee of the Florida Department of Health, we are all mandated that we had to sign the thing knowing that we could be deployed. Now, I have been deployed with Hurricane Michael when I was Red Cross. As soon as the winds got below 45 miles per hour, I was on the ground doing search and rescue. But with my job, I can't be Red Cross because my job comes first. So they will deploy us into some of the hardest hit areas, and we may be in charge of whenever the areas are cleared enough that they would put us in a shelter. We might be working a shelter with my logistics training and that kind of stuff. I may be doing logistics, but that's the deployment part of it, is that the Department of Health plays a huge role in the state of Florida emergency plan. So it's the COOP, the Continuing Operations Something Plan. So how they achieve that is by deploying their personnel. And so whistles, water, mattressing, yep, absolutely. So I am, because my new position is kind of it's like a supervisor investigator. So with that and my Red Cross deployment experience and having been trained in logistics, and I have a CDL, long story, long story. I got a CDL just because I wanted to prove to the guys at the church like 20 years ago that I could pass the test before they did, and I did. Anyway, because of all that, I am considered a very deployable employee. So I am in Emergency Duty Group 1, which means I'm one of the first ones to get deployed. Thank you, Trudy. I am actually, my house is in Tallahassee. My little house right here, that's my house in Tallahassee. And directly behind my house there is, thank you so much. Oh, I'll be praying for them, Sheila. But directly behind my house, like not even a block, like I can look out my bedroom window and I can see the emergency room to the smaller hospital here. Now, my parents and several of my children and where I used to live is in a little town, and you will probably hear it quite a bit on the news tonight, is in Crawfordville. Their house is about 3 miles north of St. Mark's. And so if you want to see where I'm talking about, if you look at St. Mark's on the map, St. Mark's is one of the worst places that can get hit because it's like a bowl. And so when the storm surge comes flying up into St. Mark's, with it being the bowl shape that it is, there's nowhere for the water to go. I think it was Dennis that we didn't even get a hit on, and St. Mark's was under 10 foot of water, and we didn't even get hit. It wasn't even close to us. But the storm surge at that time just caused it, and they're predicting 12-foot storm surge. Mom and Dad's house, if it got 12 foot of storm surge, there could be an issue. For the most part, it should be okay, but they have evacuated. They are out of that storm surge area where they have evacuated to. Obviously have to worry about trees. We do have horses out there. The one had to be put down a couple weeks ago, but there's 3 minis out there, and so obviously there's nowhere to go with them. So my daughter braided, it's like a keychain type thing, and it's got it's got the horse's name, it's got my daughter's name, my daughter's phone number, it's got the name of the vet that my daughter uses, the feed that the horses are on, and the address, so that if something happens and the horses get out, there's that, and it's braided into their mane, so it's not like something that'll fall off. She left the barns open. She's got plenty of hay in the trailer, put it out in the field, left it open. She opened the chicken pen for the chickens to just free range, and the same thing with the goats, because the last thing we want to do is try and put them in a barn and then a tree fall on the barn and them not be able to escape. So we've done everything, or she done all of that. She's done everything that she can to, wow, I feel a cool breeze. She's done everything that she can to get prepared as far as animals go. And then, like I said, I've made sure we've got plenty of food for our animals here. I've got puppy pads for my baby. Oh yeah. My baby does not go to the bathroom in the house, but if it's 120, 150 mile per hour winds, she's going to have to learn to use a puppy pad real quick. She will probably hold it knowing her. But guys, I guess I'm going to get off of here. I'm trying to get some wash done while we do have some power, because if we lose power, we don't know how long we'll be without it. We are on the same grid that the hospital is on, so that's kind of a plus. I know that down where my mom and dad live, it's in Wakulla County, it's just like a couple miles from us. They have evacuated all of the nursing homes and all that stuff. They've evacuated all of those. They have taken down the street lights here. All of the business, Walmart's closed, Publix is closed, Waffle House is closed, like all of the stores, they're closed. Everything's shut down. Um, they have boarded, yes, thank you so much, Poppy. I appreciate that. They've boarded up windows. So, I have to give the city kudos for taking the time to do all of that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Donna. That means a lot. And again, I am scared. I am not gonna lie. I am scared. I'm I'm terrified. There's that. But this is where my faith has to be strong. And my daughter sang a song that Satan, you can't cross the bloodline. And there's a bloodline, when Jesus has a bloodline around me. There's a prayer line. I've got a wall of prayer surrounding me. And there's nothing that can get through that wall of prayer that God doesn't allow. And so in times like this is where my faith has to take me through. Me, myself, Betty Renfro, I am scared. Yes, I am terrified. I'm thinking about my children, my grandchildren, and all the what ifs. But I also have to remember that God said, I am with you always, even unto the ends of the earth, and that He has it all in control. Yes, this is right here. This is the house that we just remodeled. So that's where we're going to be tonight. So as far as everything that we can do to stay safe, we've done it. Honestly, it's all in God's hands now. And the thing is, it doesn't matter how bad this hurricane is. If it's not my time to go, it doesn't matter what happens. God's going to take care of me. And on the flip side of that, if it's my time to go, it doesn't matter how prepared or what I've done to try and protect myself. It's done. I'm gone, I do believe that God's got it all in control. But, that little flesh part of me still kind of, it worries. But, that's why I like to get on here with you guys. Y'all help increase my faith. And it never hurts to have a bunch of people praying. I messaged Ma, Miss Edith, and I was like, hey, y'all need to be praying. I know the master of the wind, but I just want to make sure that not only does he hear me, but he hears y'all to know where I'm at. Just make sure that he's for sure where I'm at. Like, he knows Betty Renfro's in Tallahassee. So y'all just make sure y'all pray and let the Lord know right where I'm at. And Miss Gail, we have not been asked to evacuate because we lived in a brick home. Our county is under an evacuation order if you live in a mobile or a manufactured home. The county below us, which is where my parents and several of my children live, that county is evacuated. The sheriff went around and told the people, said, y'all got to get out because we're not going to be responsible. We're not going to be, you can call 911 all day long, but we're not coming out. That's normal. So I don't know. It's just one of those things. Just keep us in prayer. And same thing with right over here in this house. There is a young girl that just moved in. Her name is Kayla. She is an EMT with the Gadsden County EMS. She's on duty. She's from West Palm Beach. This is her first hurricane without her mom and dad. She is a young girl. And she walked over like yesterday and was talking to me. She's terrified. And I pray for her. Just pray that the Lord will give her peace. And I told her, I said, I don't know what we can do, but you can come over, sit with us. You can sit at the house with us. We can play a game. We can do whatever. If it makes you feel better, come sit with us. I don't care. So I don't know what time she gets off of work tonight, but I'll be checking in on her because I couldn't imagine being a young, early 20s and having to do a hurricane all by myself. So I'll be checking in on her. The neighbors have started getting everything prepared. They've, parked cars in the different places, trying to keep the trees from hitting them. The neighbor that lives right here, Y'all, she lit into me the other day because of my dog. And I even have it on video. I was sitting in my yard and this woman called me an F and B because I have a dog. And, but you know what? And I did fuss back at her. I didn't say any kind of bad words. It's just not in me to do it. I did fuss back at her. And I have to apologize for letting her get under my skin. And I will apologize to her. But you know what? If she needs me, I would be right there. I would be right there helping her. Yeah, guys, because I have a dog. And y'all see Maggie? This dog does not bark. And she said that she had been hearing a dog bark for days and that it has been keeping her up at night. Really? My dog don't even bark. My dog does not even bark. And you know, the thing is, and that's why I said I have to apologize because this has been in battle for 3 years with this woman, and I have tried to kill her with kindness. And I have just acted like she's my best friend. But Wednesday of last week, I was sitting in my yard, and she went off on me, and I started fussing back at her, and I shouldn't have done it. And that was not Christ-like. And I just hope that I haven't destroyed my 3 years of trying to be nice to her by my one day of letting her get under my skin. I will apologize. In fact, she's outside now. Guys, I'm going to get off of here. There's a storm coming, and you know what? I'm not going to have that on my heart with a storm coming. I'm going to walk over here and apologize to her now, and I will see y'all later.